I'm the agent for the vessel, so just bringing the ship in, liaising with Hyundai in regards to their cargo, particularly the excavators today. So a number of logistical steps are taken for safety and efficiency. So checking the tide, making sure that the vessel won't run aground first and foremost. When it's further out, coming in, the pilot station weather can be a factor. So with this one, for instance, there was bad weather when it was due to arrive over the weekend, high winds, which means taller waves, which makes it harder for the pilot to board, and that had to be aborted this time. But there's nothing you can do about it. It's just waiting for the weather to be right and bringing the vessel in safely and securely and ensuring there's no major delays. Yeah, this is different to a regular day at work. With a machine of this particular size, it means that different measures have had to be taken to ensure that it arrives safely. It's a different sort of challenge, obviously ensuring that they can come off, and I know these ones in particular, being so heavy, have been shipped in 3 parts, so just making sure logistically it all works out well. So the vessel would have started its voyage in Korea, where it would have loaded the cargo, and then headed to mainland Europe, where it would have made a number of stops before coming here to Tilbury. This machine in particular, being shipped from Korea and discharged here, it's been discharged in 3 parts, and then it's going to be in a wide load convoy of 3 parts again to then be put together up north and ultimately finish its journey.
We arrived this morning at 8 AM, booked in at the office round the corner. We was escorted round here. We've had to split the trailer from the front to load this excavator. Now we're loaded, ready for the off. We're going to head off and get as far as we possibly can, ready to meet the police tomorrow.
Today particularly, I am Gary's escort driver, so I'm basically just helping him out with tight turns and stuff like that, obviously trying to keep other drivers aware and safe, because some people don't quite understand what's going on until they're there, sort of thing. So leading up to it, they can see flashing lights and stuff, see what's going on and stuff like that. So it's just to keep people aware and safe, and then when Gary does need a hand with tight bends or stuff like that, then I'm there for that as well, and loading and unloading. Moving things like this is the weight of them, and obviously they're a lot wider than what people normally see on the road. So even without a load on, we're wider than a standard lorry, and then with the machine on, we're even wider. So width is a big thing. So when you're taking turns and roundabouts and stuff like that, normally you're taking 2 lanes if you can, because you just need that space to turn. And then obviously weight is a massive thing as well, because you'll be surprised the amount of people that don't realise what's going on and what's on the back of it and how much it weighs. So yeah, when we need to slow down, we're slowing down a lot sooner than even a standard lorry, let alone a car. So it's you've got to keep your eye on everything. You're so vigilant, and you've got to be so switched on. So it can be quite draining. It's not a case of just turning a wheel and pointing the lorry in a straight line. It is there's a lot involved when you're moving this kind of kit. So logistical steps, obviously we're governed by a movement order. So what happens is we find out the specs of the machine. We've already got the specs of the lorry and the trailer and stuff like that, but we find out the specs of the machines from the client. And then what we do is we will submit a movement order, which is overseen by whichever county you're going into, and the highways and stuff like that is overseen by them all. So councils, police, county, and then we get given an approved route then. So that's a major safety aspect, because obviously that's avoiding low bridges and width restrictions, weight restrictions and stuff like that. And then obviously another safety aspect is you've got me behind, trying to make people aware, trying to give Gary as much space as he needs if we come to roundabout and stuff like that. So I do hold traffic back. It's more for their safety really, so the trailer or the load doesn't crush them and stuff like that. And then as you'll see tomorrow, because of where we're going and how difficult and challenging the town is, we will have the police with us as well, which is another safety aspect. Today's gone quite well, to be honest. We've made it to our halfway destination in good time. Obviously, as we first come out the docks, we had a bit of a, not necessarily an issue, but we had to take it steady due to a broken down lorry. But no, other than that, we've done really well. Traffic's been on our side today, and we haven't had many people causing us problems either. So no, we've done well to get here today for a halfway point, and then we'll do the rest tomorrow. I love my job. I don't like moving small machines. Stuff like this, me and Gary do this sort of thing day in, day out, and I would much rather move a 100-ton machine than a 5-ton machine. So for me, I absolutely love it. It is exciting moving a new Hyundai machine, definitely. When we first had this job put on our calendar, all we got was a 100-ton excavator. We didn't know what it was or anything like that. It wasn't until later during the week we found out what we're actually moving. And obviously I've never seen one before, a 100-ton one. So yeah, it is exciting. I do enjoy it, yeah.
My role today is team foreman. I'm in charge of the other two guys and myself that are building this machine today. So the machine arrived on Friday, and we are now going to be fitting the boom, the counterweight, the dipper, bucket, and then commissioning the machine. We suspect it will be 3 days to build. Day one today is probably the most challenging day, which involves craning of the boom and the counterweight. Hopefully that should be done by tonight. Then tomorrow will be dipper, bucket, pipe work, and then Wednesday will be track frames and talking and just commissioning the machine. The challenging part of this build really is mainly the weights of everything. Everything is so much bigger, so much heavier. And generally it's the working at height. That's really the main challenges. For safety purposes, cranes with overload alarm systems, straps are all certified for the correct weight. Everybody's wearing harnesses, high vis. It's generally the working at height is probably the biggest challenge with doing this machine. This is not a normal day at work really. This is something a little bit more challenging than normal. Our regular day's work wouldn't normally involve building machines of this size. The process of building this is very similar to building a regular excavator. It's quite enjoyable. It's different to the normal stuff that we do day to day. This is quite a challenge due to the size of the machine and due to the complexity of having to make sure everything is organised.